So today we're going to deep dive into the engine side of things at Housemarque. We have a guy behind the tech who's going to tell us all this crazy lingo that none of us will understand, but I'll try to make sure that we translate it a little bit to the layman's terms. Basically, fluids, water simulation tech, and then overall what it means to have a voxel engine and how we render that whole thing. Let's go talk a bit more with our main man, the tech guy. So, the engine is a voxel-based engine, and it's more or less based on Resogun, but we're doing something different now. So what's the difference from that engine to the current one?
Yeah. So when we started making this game, so we wanted to take the voxel look out of the Resogun, but we wanted to push it more or advance that. In the Resogun, our bottleneck was the amount of vertices and the amount of geometry that we render to the screen. So we wanted to get rid of that. So we still have the voxel world behind the scenes, but we render it without geometry. We start from the screen and treat it as a grid of pixels.
So every pixel is a part of the grid.
Yeah,
and then
through each pixel we start marching array forward until we hit.
Until it hits something, and then it returns that texture, color, or whatever.
Yeah, the material properties and so on. But it's actually quite fast compared to the fact that you would be rendering like tiny cubes or a lot of geometry, which are actually might be only cover a few pixels on the screen.
Okay, so it's actually fairly good in terms of the performance. Another thing you've been working on a lot is the water tech. So we have it's kind of a side thing, but we wanted to make a really cool water tech. How is it different from a lot of other fluid simulations, if you will?
Well, actually the fluid simulation is of course something. It has a feedback to the particle system, for example, and the gameplay events can affect the fluid simulation too.
So anything you shoot over the water, or if particles drop into the water, that makes ripples and waves.
Those are good examples.
Okay.
Explosions, for example. Explosions add forces to the simulation. They push the water surface down, and then it generates waves.
Okay. If, for example, if I would be one of the enemies in the game, you could make me look like a waterfall. So all my movement and facial animations, everything translates directly.
If someone shoot you,
I can explode like water.
Create like a water ripples.
You know, we like to do a lot of explosions and cool things. And apparently, so the water is interactive. The particles are interactive with shadows and physics and everything, and those things work together too. So basically everything is covered by this kind of...
we use a lot of particles.
A lot of particles,
A lot of you see on the screen is actually made of particles.
Right,
For example, to the fluid surface we can emit some particles. For example, if the wave is high enough or moves like high enough velocity, we can spawn some particles on top of, for example, the waves. So you can have like foam on top of the water, or or you can make some lava-like surface patterns.
Right.
But then those particles in turn can affect the simulation also. They can add forces to it.
Okay. So let me get this straight again. So let's say we have a flow of lava, and you can add kind of this cooled lava on top of it, which is let's say more darker. And then once you get that cooled lava on it, that actually becomes a physical object that then makes the lava move away from it, for example.
You could do that,
Damn, okay, sorry. But this is interesting, and we're gonna have some cool examples. I think the sad part is that the game is so fast, so you'll not see everything. And in the end, this makes up the world, and it's all in the details, right? Exactly. Absolutely wonderful hearing this. Thanks, Antti.
Thank you.
Sounds like a very cool tech showcase.
Sure.
So there you have it, a lot of really cool, geeky tech stuff. Honestly, take the game Nex Machina when it comes out on June 20th, and then just deep dive and look into it, pause the game, and just enjoy all that detail that we've been able to create in the background. Because honestly, you won't notice it if you just play the game.